In this video, I want to discuss how I got my very first license and how long that took, and then how long it actually took to get my very first resident in my first facility and other facilities that I have acquired since then. And that way you guys can take what I talk about and actually start implementing it in your facilities and getting your first facility up and going, or other facilities that you may be looking to potentially start. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. What is going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that each and every single one of you have shown me. And if you have not yet, make sure to go check out the God Made podcast on most streaming platforms. Also, feel free to go check out LegionAssistedLivingAcademy.com, where I teach how to start your own facility from A to Z. Also, you can book a one-on-one mentorship call with myself and also purchase the documentation package for your facility that you're looking to potentially get licensed. And also, if you want to book a full 1 day with myself where you get to spend going to the facilities that I have and taking a tour of them, you can just spend the whole day, ask any questions that you may have. And you could also do that at LegionAssistedLivingAcademy.com or in the links of the description of this video. Also, if you have not checked us out on Instagram at Valley ALF Ventures, feel free to go check us out, and also check out ValleyALFVentures.com if you are a passive or limited partner looking to passively invest in this space, or if you're an operator looking to potentially sell or expand your operations and are looking to lease other locations, feel free to reach out to us. Now that the housekeeping is all done, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. Now, I received a question in the comments of one of the videos, and the question really was, how long did it take me to get the very first facility that I ever licensed, to actually get my assisted living license there at that home and location? And then how long after I got licensed did it take for me to get my very first resident? So let's go ahead and talk about the first question. Now, to be honest, the first question of how long did it take me to actually get licensed was actually a long-winded way for me to get licensed, because I took an alternative path that I was recommended to do, and it shouldn't have taken me as long as it did to actually get licensed. But to make a long story short, I actually got licensed 3 months of getting into leasing the location, and then it took me about 2 weeks to get my very first resident. It could have actually taken me a lot shorter to get licensed, but like I said, I was being guided a completely different direction before I made the decision. Let me just go ahead and continue the path of assisted living instead of behavioral, and so it didn't take me as long to get licensed. And in most cases, that you are probably going to be looking at maybe 4 to 6 months to get licensed, and then possibly another month or two to get your first client. But there's a lot of things you can do to go ahead and expedite that and be prepared to start taking on your first clients. And the way you can do that is by going through the state regulations beforehand, and also securing a location that is going to work really well for this type of business. And so getting that location secured and having all the checklists from licensing beforehand will help you expedite the process to get licensed. So be sure that when you are looking to get started in this business, that you have that checklist and that you secure that location. So for me, when I first got in, I didn't have a checklist, but I secured the location. And fortunately for me, I secured a location that worked really well, but I didn't do any due diligence. And that was something that on my part, I should have done beforehand. And the reason why I say that is because the location that I first chose had no parking. It had no ADA accessible bathrooms or anything that was ADA or handicap accessible for the residents in that home. And so I had to go in there and do what I could and work with what I had at that time. And so what do I mean by that? A lot of the bathrooms weren't ADA accessible. A lot of the doorways weren't ADA accessible. There was no fixed ramp that was ADA accessible. It was all just stuff that I could work with, right? I would go get the handicap accessible grab bars from Home Depot. The same with the ramp. I just went to Home Depot and I met the minimum requirement by the state at that time to meet the ADA accessible requirements. And so for me, that's what I had to do, but I didn't do my due diligence and I still made it work. And fortunately, what worked in my favor was the home that I ended up securing was already previously used, but they had shut it down completely, but the zoning was already in place and they had a previously active license on the home. So it was just a matter of me going in there and relicensing it all and then start placing residents. Now, not everyone's gonna have that option. They're gonna have to go through the whole process all over again and go and get a home completely rezoned, completely relicensed or licensed completely from ground zero. And so there are going to be some hurdles with that. You got to go get approvals from everybody prior to being able to eventually get licensed and then submitting the application. So making sure that you have all that in hand and making sure that you go through that process beforehand will help you get licensing a lot quicker. Now, depending on the state that you're in, there are certain states that will allow you to take on 2 to 3 residents beforehand to be able to start generating some revenue and to start implementing your business operations before you get licensed. And the only state that I know that does this is Texas as of right now. All other states that I know of and that I've talked to other individuals in these states do not allow you to do that. But if you're in the state of Texas, you're in luck. That will help you be able to start taking residents before you even get the licensing, which again, like I said, can take 4, 6 to even 12 months to get licensed. So if you're able to take 2 to 3 residents and start generating some revenue and be able to offset your expenses that you'll be incurring, that will help tremendously. So for other states though, once you do get that licensing, what you can do is pre-marketing, right? You can go out there and start pre-marketing your facility prior to you getting licensure, right? Once you get your application approved from the state, you can start telling people, hey, look, this is the target date that we are looking to open. We would love to have anybody that you think you would have in mind come toward the facility. Even if it's individuals who may be able to bring you residents, it's good to start having them come to the home, have them come out, have a coffee, maybe have some finger foods available, maybe have some things that you can offer them when they come in toward the home and have a conversation with you and start building that rapport. And then when the time does come that you do get licensing, maybe they do have somebody in mind right away that they could have come toward the home and you could start placing residents in your home. But with all that being said, that is how long it took me. And my circumstance was unique and was different. Other facilities that I have licensed in recently, it's not taken nearly as long. The reason being is because now that I know what the whole process looks like, it does get easier each time. But I feel like with each time that we've gone and zoned something or licensed a new facility, there's been new hurdles, new changes that they've made to what they require in regards to the application, what it requires for you to submit things in to get the licensure. But these little tweaks and things that they end up implementing are things to help weed out the individuals who aren't doing things properly. And again, it is just more red tape to get through, but again, it does get easier with each time that you do it and you know what the process is. So I would say now it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 months, give or take, and then getting that first resident, once you have those relationships in play and you know who to work with, opening your second, third, fourth, fifth facility is not nearly as cumbersome. And once you systemize it all, it does help a lot. So hopefully that gives you guys some guidance to work off of. And again, like I said, a lot of it will come down to you having everything beforehand. You try to do your best, try to get all the research that you possibly can, and then it's just a matter of executing on those things. So with all that being said, I hope that this video helped you guys. And if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, feel free to go check out LegionAssistedLivingAcademy.com, where I teach how to do this from A to Z, Also, if you want to book a one-on-one mentorship call to ask any additional in-depth questions that you may have, I am here to help and I'm happy to help. And also feel free to go check us out at valleyalfventures.com and at valleyalfventures on Instagram. Give us a follow and I look forward to speaking with each one of you at some point or another. And with all that being said, I will talk to you all in the next one. God bless.